Pretty girl with an ugly smirk, you convince yourself that it's one of my quirks again. Too high if you can choose.
Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Sorry about the angle. Currently you're sat in a bookcase. We're just gonna go with it. Okay, I needed to get this video done. I don't currently have a stand because, well, I do, but I don't have a light because something happened to it. RIP light. I'm just going to be going through my July on my radar. So if you went and watched my June on my radar, you'll see, I'll link it somewhere around the video. I did a lot of Scribd books I was interested in, but since that video there are a couple of Scribd releases, well, Scribd books that I'm interested in, but also there's BBNYA, which is another award thing that has been around for a few years. I will leave it linked in the description below. There's a Twitter. I am an actual judge for that one, and there's a couple of books on there that have, and authors that have got my attention. So I'm going to be giving you a couple of those, but also just a couple of other authors that are on my lengthy and ever-growing list of people that I'm interested in reading books from. There's just a lot. There's a lot. First off, we're going to start with A.K. Faulkner, and the book that was brought to my attention was Jack of Thorns. Now, I got their name from a Discord because they're an indie author on a Discord. I think it was actually the India Cause Discord, which again, anything I discuss will be linked down below. And I was looking for other indie authors that weren't as well known as some of the ones that are constantly chatting on Twitter and that are well known, because there are a few indie author names that as soon as I say them, you'll be like, I know that person. A lot of people talk about that person. So I was looking for people that weren't as well known. So A.K. Faulkner came to my attention, and Jack of Thorns is one that is on my list to chase. But as I've mentioned many times, that I have very little space at the moment. I'm trying to unhaul a crap ton of books, and it's just not, they're not getting out as quickly as I'd have liked. But when I have the space, I will be purchasing more of these authors. Next one is Andrew Meredith, and the book that I've seen, there's a book called Thrice, but I don't know, there's a few different books that this author's released. There's Thrice, and then there's Deathless Beast. I know Deathless Beast is the first in a series, and that is the one that's in Scribd, but I don't know where Thrice comes into this. It might be a different series, I can't remember, or it might be the second in this series. Haven't quite figured that bit out yet. But another author that quite a few people talk about, Andrew from Andrew Wizardly Reads, Tori from Tori Talks. They both mentioned Andrew Meredith, and Tori's actually recommended Andrew Meredith as an author that I read for my Indie Booktubers Recommends series that I've started doing. Spoiler, that'll be coming soon. So I'm really excited to get round to reading Andrew Meredith. I think that the way that he writes is going to be right up my alley, and I'm excited. I'm excited to get to all of these people, by the way, but it's just when I hear other people hyping them up, it gets me more hyped to read them, as long as the hype is not too much, because then that scares me. Next one is BN Real, and the book is The Vanishing Ink, and that is a Scribd 9 book, and I didn't know who this person was prior to Scribd 9, but I'm all about this right now, and this is one of the books that's on the top of my Scribd 9 TBRs. Don't currently own it. It is available on ebook, and I will be getting it on ebook. But again, as you're all probably aware, if you're watching this and you're watching my channel, I have an issue with making/sticking to TBRs lately, and it's a problem we're not going to address right now. Just saying. Next one is Brian Asher, and that is Affair of Moncroy. I might be saying this wrong, I'm sorry, but this cover, for one, the cover screams pick me up, I am beautiful, but also the author, I'm very interested in their work. I don't think this is the first book from the author, It's the first book that I've seen that's made me interested in reading more from the author, but I think they have released books before. I'm still debating whether I want to read these books in release order, but I feel like if I did that, by the time we get to some of these Scribd books, it's going to be ridiculous. Scribd I will have been and gone, because some of these authors have released books before. So the next one is Daniel Mayer, and the book is Credible Threats. That's another Scribd I book. I can't remember if I mentioned this one before. I don't know if I did, but there's this one. Again, not one that it's not an author that I've previously been aware of, but this is the joy of Scribd. This is the joy of Twitter and getting involved in the indie self-published book community, and you find all these authors and they are gems, and I've heard quite good things about this book and this author so far, so I'm very excited to get my hands on a copy of this book, and I'm just very excited. And the next author has been around a while and has brought out a few books, but again, I am way behind on these authors. And this is a sci-fi, not a fantasy. Look at me branching out and shit. The author is Bruno, and In the Orbit of Sirens is the book that got brought to my attention. And I do have a copy of this on audio, kindly gifted by Bruno, and I haven't got around to reading it yet, but I have heard nothing but good things about this author, and I do want to read more sci-fi, so I am going to try and focus more on some of these indie authors that I've discussed on these little on my radar things, because they're specifically on a spreadsheet and they're colour coded. And I've taken the time to write out this spreadsheet of people that I'm interested in reading books from. And I've colour coordinated, like, what I've read, what I own but haven't read yet. And, like, I'm putting all this effort into this spreadsheet. I'm literally doing nothing else with it. So, I really want to focus on some of these books, because the rate some of these indie authors just smash out these books is ridiculous. Do I have the money to purchase every book that's on this list? Absolutely not, because currently the amount of books is 130. That does include multiple books from different authors. So I've got Rob J. Hayes on there a number of times. I've got Ryan Cahill, obviously, on there a couple of times. And I've got Tiago Abdallah, Callum Solomon, Jim Milborn. There's quite a few authors on there that are on there like multiple times, as well as Thomas Howard Riley. They're the like multiple books. There's 130 books as it stands at the moment that's on this list, and there's about, I want to say 20 that I've read ish. I think there's about 20 that I've read. So I have around 110 books, which probably author wise equates to about 100 authors in total. So I have a lot to get through, and this list keeps building. There are people on here, like there are people that I'm interested in that I've found through the other contest that I'm judging that I haven't yet put on this spreadsheet. So I'm very behind on everything. And there's also people on this thing here. What's it called? A bookcase? There's people on this bookcase that I've not discussed with you yet, that I am very interested in reading from. So there's there's a lot. There's a lot. However, they are the ones that I want to share with you today. If Editing Lisa can muster up the brain power, she will link these people down below and some of their books, and anyone I've talked about, the booktubers that I spoke about, the authors. If the authors also have a booktube / YouTube, whatever you call it, I will also link that person down below. It will all be in the description box. If any of these are of interest to you, I would recommend that you go and pick them up, because I take my recommendations from very trustworthy sources. I would recommend, at the moment, most of my recommendations come from Chelsea from North Secret Bookaholic, Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads, Tori from Tori Talks, or Don from Dominish Books. I have been getting some recommendations from Cassie from Cruise of Cassidy, and I've also been getting some like fantasy romance kind of recommendations from Mel from Eleanor Reads. So do with that information what you will. I highly recommend checking all of these people out. The likelihood is that if you are here, you already know who these people are. So I really don't need to tag them, but I will anyway because I've mentioned them. But if you do like me and you want to see more of me, please like, comment, subscribe to all that good stuff down below. And if you are here and you don't know him, you don't have anything to say, please just leave a purple heart because I need the love. I'm joking. But please, purple heart, thank you. And I will see you all in my next video, whenever that may be, and hopefully the lighting and situation will be a bit better than what is currently going on now, where my hair looks like a rat's nest and also very orange. But we vibe, we move, and everything. We all know this. Adios, amigos.
Every time I fall in love, it seems to be